guys, that was pretty bad. Hey moviegoers, Shinobi Nando here, and this is my spoiler-filled review. Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, if you guys haven't seen the film, do you know what? To be perfectly honest, I'm going to start this right off. I can't really spoil too much. You'll see why if you continue watching the video. If you want to check out a spoiler-free review, I have done one on my channel. Please check that out and then come back to this one after what I said in there if it convinces you that maybe you need to see what spoilers there are, if there are any true spoilers, guys, honestly, and see for yourself if it's worth seeing this in cinema like I did. Let me address this again. This film isn't necessarily bad. It's just I've never been so bored in a Star Wars film. My God, even when I was young and I watched the originals, I mean like really young, and you know when you're a kid and you're like in the talky bits, I wasn't even that bored then as I was now. It's both a detriment and a testimony to what was going on in the background, you know, the visualization, the world building, the fact that that was more interesting to me than what Han Solo was doing and what he was saying. Not really a great start. The movie opens up with Han and Corellia. That's it. You see the dice. They really shoehorn those dice. Do you know from The Last Jedi? And like, I'm sure, do you know, before The Last Jedi, I didn't even realize they were a thing. I knew you kind of seen them in the background and they were just there. Oh no, these were, yep, hammered over the head. Here's the dice, here's the dice, here's the dice. There we meet Qi'ra, Emily Clarke's character, is pre-Princess Leia, who they basically are part of a crime syndicate already. They're scavengers. They do deals for this weird, I don't even remember her name. She's like a weird alien that comes out of the water. They escape from her. They do this by trading Colaxium. That's the main crux or the main MacGuffin of the film. That is some really, really interesting world building. We see sides of the Empire we don't normally see. We see it from like the street level, like the army recruitment side and everything. That's really, really cool. I love the little Easter egg of the Imperial March being played on the propaganda poster to recruit people to the Imperium to become stormtroopers. That was amazing. But again, then it's back to being following Han Solo around with dull things. Okay guys, let me just say this. Why I keep on saying that you can't really spoil this movie is because you know what's going to happen in here. Basically, you know he's going to end up with a Millennium Falcon, you know he's going to get his gun, how he meets Chewie, all these things, Lando, the Kessel Run, they're all there. That is the main... How I best described it with a friend was, basically, this is like walking through a museum. This film feels like walking through a museum. You're going to the point A to point B. Observe how Han Solo got the prestigious Millennium Falcon. Observe how he performed the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. Although, that is a fantastic joke we'll get into in a bit. So, leading on from Corellia, we have how we got into the Imperial Flight School, how we dropped out. It's very done by exposition. But again, the visuals for this bit are amazing. It's like a scene out of World War I and World War II. It's trench warfare. You see the kind of militia stormtroopers, if you will, on this mud planet. They show us what does actually happen, because the first thing I said when I saw stormtroopers, I was like, why do they all sound like they're from New Zealand? They do show us that the clone troopers seem to have become the commanding officers of the militia or the stormtroopers. At least in the field, you don't really see them anywhere else. Maybe they're not treated like proper soldiers. They're just literally on the battlefield. From there, we meet Beckett, Han Solo's kind of mentor character. Although he doesn't really learn too much from him other than, you know, don't trust people, shoot first, everyone's gonna betray you. Basically, we're bringing Han Solo down to build him back up again in the original trilogy, which is kind of weird for a prequel to do. In this scene, you also see how he meets Chewie. They kind of combine a few plot lines from the expanded universe. Yes, he was a stormtrooper. Yes, he was in Flight Academy. He gets kicked out for obviously having a mouth. He's then tricked into being classified as a deserter when he tries to join Beckett's team. Beckett, posing as an Imperial officer, says he's a deserter. He gets thrown into a pit where the monster is. The monster, of course, being Chewbacca. How these two meet, I actually really like this scene. They fight for a bit. Chewie's like covered in mud. He has dreads. He's killed a lot of people. They feed him people, which is kind of weird. He's blatantly gone very feral. What snaps him out of it is actually Han speaks Wookiee to him. That was probably one of the most funniest bits in the entire movie, when Chewie snaps out of being feral to hearing him speak Wookiee, and he's like, "You speak Wookiee?" But one thing they missed out from the expanded universe, which kind of like, was the life pack aspect of their relationship. If you don't know, in the expanded universe, Han saves Chewie. The Wookiees have something called a life pack. If you save their life, they have or life debt. Sorry, don't kill me, guys. And this is why he's so fiercely loyal to Han. And he was moving along. A lot of other stuff happens. Han gets a chance to prove himself as a pilot in a botched heist with the train. That is like a really weird. This movie is so like sporadic and schizophrenic. So basically, what happens is, they meet the crew, they fail at a heist, so they already get into the heist bit very, very quickly. All the characters die, bar Beckett, Han, and Chewie, obviously. Beckett is forced to use them as his crew. He owes Vision, Paul Bettany's character, a lot of money. They have to go do the Kessel Run. And yeah, from there they meet Lando. They do the card game where Han wins the ship, although he doesn't. Oh, no, he doesn't. Not yet, that's too soon. And this brings us to the Millennium Falcon, which is really, really funny. The Millennium Falcon, we see it in its prime. It's quite new. Lando, obviously. This is kind of like homage to the line, or tribute to the line, sorry, where he says, "What have you done to my ship?" He keeps it very, very well kept. He keeps it pristine. It has the weird like nose bit that everyone's seen in the trailer. It's very different. However, then we fall in once again to fan service. Well, obviously, the ship can't look like that because it doesn't in A New Hope. So, on this adventure, oh my god, guys, we have to see why the front looks different, why it has different cannons, oh, why the landing gear is different, oh, why the satellite dish is different, why did he replace that, where's the ablative armor, or whatever the hell that was. Yep, bit by bit, we see the Millennium Falcon get broken down until it's closer to what we know from the original trilogy, because we're all too big of idiots to figure out that in that time gap, things could have happened, or Han could have left it to neglect. No. We have to have it hammered over the head that this is how the Millennium Falcon ends up looking like this. The Kessel Run in particular was ruined for me. There's a bit they're going through the clouds or the maelstrom, and a Star Destroyer appears, and I thought, this is it. This is where it will be interesting. Everyone's seen it. You know, he does the flip. He kills the the Star Destroyer. The TIE fighter knocks it into the asteroid. They're flying through the debris field, and then a giant monster appears. I don't know where, because it does. It has to. Whatever. There's a throwaway line where Lando goes, oh, you know, you can't make the Kessel Run less than 20 parsecs because you have to stay on this certain path or else, you know, you'll die. The odds of navigating it are too high. Never told me the odds. But yeah, there's just out of nowhere. So it would have been really cool to see the Star Destroyer and the TIE fighters chase it. And he goes through the shortcut, much like the asteroid field scene from Empire Strikes Back. That would have been awesome. Goes past the Maw, etc. Escapes. Oh, he took a shortcut. He risked it. He beat the odds. He made the Kessel Run in 14 parsecs, 12 parsecs. Or not, because it turns out we've all been trolled. It's Han exaggerating again. There's a throwaway line where I'm pretty sure if we could translate Wookiee or Kashyyyk, it's Chewie basically saying it's closer to 13 or 14, and Han goes, yeah, that's why you always round down. 12. So every Star Wars fan for the last, 40 years, we've been going, hey, it's 12 parsecs, not 14. You are wrong. You've been trolled now. It's been retconned, so you've been wrong this entire time. It's probably 13 or 14. Anyways, this monster, I was so bored by the chase scene. I don't get it. Why was it there? It's just simply there to swat a tentacle and then get sucked into a gravity well, a black hole, a gravity well, and then they escape, and then the plot continues. Guys, I really started to tune off after this bit. They go to a planet, they meet this girl with freckles and red hair, but just afro hair, but apparently she's like really young. Oh, that's the bounty hunter girl. You know, they try to make it look really cool. It turns out there's just a group of kids or survivors from tribes that have been killed by either the Empire or in conjunction with the crime syndicates. Now, there's a real big emphasis on her. People have said to me, oh, ginger hair, maybe she's Mon Mothma, but that would make like Han really old and the timeline doesn't add up, and she looks nothing like her. Just a lot of little nitpicky things. Anyways, here's where it gets pretty cool. So, whereas the Marvel universes are very bad at tying the shows and the films together, it's very one-directional. The Star Wars spin-offs in particular have been very good at bridging the gap. Again, we see more of that from the Rebels program and Clone Wars. Just like we had Saw Gerrera, we have Darth Maul. he returns. And it was a cool little scene. You got to see him talk a bit more. I'm not sure if it was Ray Park who did it, but it looked very much like him. They had the robot legs, so it's canonical. I know it kind of was because the TV shows are canonical, but it is really, really canonical. You can't dispute it now. He gets robot legs. He survives the fight on Naboo. That was like, as a start, I was like, yes, yes. Where's Ahsoka? And it was a really cool bait and switch because he had a cloak up and you thought, oh my god, the Emperor, really, they're in cahoots? Oh, no, no, no. If they wanted to lead somewhere else with that, I don't know. I just personally thought that it was maybe just another tie-in to kind of bring the universe together. But anyways, so the film, of course, ends with Han going where? You guessed it, Tatooine. Because Beckett said, oh, there's a gangster, a really big gangster, one of the Hutts, and he's making a really big job, and he's calling all scoundrels and outlaws from across the galaxy. So, of course, after failing, he gives the coaxium to the rebels, whoever, like, who are these? Are these the Bothans? Is this what, I have no idea, guys. Like, it's so random why that, like, everything else is, like, hammered over the head with you. This is Lando. This is the Millennium Falcon. This is where he gets his dice. This is where he gets his gun. And then the one bit that you are curious about is just kind of like, yeah, it's weird children. Who are they? Don't know. Anyways, guys, I'm starting to ramble again. Really sorry about this. I did like, is it Andy Warwick? Andy Warwick's cameo as one of the, I don't know what to call them again, the Marauders. So again, my final thoughts, I already gave it in my spoiler-free review, if you want to check that out again, was 2 ninja stars, or throwing stars, out of 5. This movie is so dull. You know exactly what's going to happen. I know it's a prequel. I know, like, you could say that with Rogue One. You knew what was going to happen because obviously they get the Death Star plans. Obviously they're going to die. They're not in the other films. But you didn't know, and it was exciting. And whereas Rogue One, a Star Wars story, paved over some plot holes, like, you know, the Death Star. Why could it be blown up so easily? I feel like other than world building and bringing the universe kind of closer by tying in Rebels and the Clone Wars, what did this film do? What did this film really do? Was it necessary? We just got shown all the things we were told. That's it. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more movie reviews or video game unboxings or video game let's plays. And let me know if you've seen it, what you thought about this film. Oh my god. It's not as bad as the prequels. I'm not going to take away from that. And it's not poorly written. It's just so dull. Oh my god, I didn't even touch on the droid. I'm not even going to, because it's just... Except for apparently the Millennium Falcon is alive. Whatever. It's not important. It never gets brought up again in the entire movie franchise. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next movie review in the next video. Thank you for watching.